From the Simi Valley Isoplex, the Matador Sports Network is proud to present coverage of CSUN hockey. Tonight, the Matadors finish up this two-game weekend series against the University of Wyoming Cowboys. Good evening, everyone. Delighted to have you along tonight. I'm Travis Van Ode. Right off the top of the broadcast, we want to congratulate head coach J.P. Gale and his beautiful wife, Kara, on welcoming their first child to the world this afternoon. Welcome Aiden and John Gale. And we're happy to report that mother and son are doing just fine. To business tonight, the Matadors lost last night to Wyoming 5-2. They gave up an empty net goal with just 1 second left. CSUN desperately needs a victory here tonight before playing LMU next week in their final two games before the first ranking comes out on November 8th. CSUN is trying to get back to 500 once again. They are 5-6. Meanwhile, Wyoming is trying to sweep their three-game SoCal road trip. They beat Cal State Fullerton 2 nights ago, 6-4 to kick things off. A big matchup here tonight on the NHL sheet of the Isoplex. Coming up next, we'll preview the goaltending matchup and drop the puck on the Matador Sports Network. The starting goalies for tonight's game. Sam Mallory's in the net for Wyoming. They're number 1. He's a Cheyenne, Wyoming native. 9th start of the season, 3-4-1 record. 410 goals against average and a .903 save percentage. And for the Matadors, it's Brandon Calvoda, the Phoenix, Arizona native, a junior at CSUN. 6th start of the season, 1-4 record, 4.21 goals against average and an .868 save percentage. Matadors start the Garrett Hefty line with Evan Wright and Quinton Abaya on the wings, with Tom Dobricott and Levi Bowles the starting defensemen. Scratch tonight for CSUN, George Reznikov, Tommy Pang, who's still out with an upper body injury, Johnny Cortez, Matt Bushton, who's still out with an upper body injury, Kevin Stanke, and Brandon Hagan. We're underway. Matadors are trying to split this 2-game series with Wyoming and get back to 500. CSUN, if they want a good spot in the first ranking coming up on November 8th, they would do themselves a huge favor tonight by beating Wyoming, a team that looks to be in the regionals mix certainly once again this season. Puck sent around, picked up by Tyler Kinnan. Campbell McKay scored last night, clears out. Bowles right back in as CSUN touches up. Kinnan goes D-to-D. Knocked down illegally by Wright. Wright has Hefty in front, sent there, and it's chipped wide. Brandon DeWar may have got his stick on it as well. Actually, that's Zach Ferentz, who may have got his stick on it at the last minute. Alex Marbach takes back for CSUN, pressured by Mark Kunitz, sends to Bowles. Full complement of players for both teams yet again. Shot by Alec McDougall, blocked, rebound off the outside of the post. Kunitz coming that close to giving Wyoming the initial lead, just over a minute into this one, but nicked the outside of the post. Deflected in by Max Goen. First on the forecheck, Matt Hoover. Hoover loses an edge. There's Brandon DeWar. Marbach's shot wide. Taken over by Wyoming. Stretched up the ice as Cameron Rorick went flying. Marbach sends to Rorick, deflects further into the Wyoming bench. Of course, we're back on the NHL sheet tonight here at the Isoplex. Matadors coming in overall 5-6, trying to get back to 500 once again. As I said, they're 3-2 here at home. Wyoming, they're on their first winning streak of the season. They've won 3 straight, dating back to their last game in Laramie against Colorado State. 5-4-1 overall. They're on their first road winning streak of the season as well. They've won their last 2. 3-2-1 away from the Laramie Ice Events Center. 5th ever meeting between these two teams. Wyoming won their first ever game against CSUN last night. Calvoda keeps it held. Calvoda played the first game last year in Laramie, gave up 4 goals, got the win, making 34 saves. Mallory played the second game against Vincent Seppi. Mallory gave up 3 goals, made 49 saves in a losing effort as CSUN shut out Wyoming 3-0. Alex Ryan's line is out. They were responsible for both CSUN goals last night. Berengut from Ryans and Blasco, and then Ryans from Blasco and Berengut. All 3 members of the top line picking up their second multi-point games of the season. Ryans against the captain for Wyoming, Tyler Johnson. It's one to Ian Johnson, no relation. Johnson, checked by John Michael Lauren, sends in deeper for Blake Bayer. 2 goals last night. He got the shorthanded goal with just 1 second left. Ian Johnson hits Blake Bayer with his shot. Berengut doesn't know where it is. Held on by Ian Johnson. Pressured well by Ryans, forced out. A race for it. Matt Loundigan just gets there ahead of Berengut. Shovels it on around, goes past Blasco to neutral ice. Will Lessick back in. Blasco steals, plays to Ryans. Lauren. Lessick, good puck movement. Lessick from the outside, wide of the net. Quinton Abaya holds in a couple of times, but then it's forced out by Ian Johnson. Wyoming needs a change. 3 minutes gone by here in the opening period. Stretched pass, deflected by Abaya, no icing. Kinnan reverses. Good pace to this one early on. Big bump by Dobricott. Gets a rise out of the CSUN bench. Much more even start than last night. Wyoming dominated play in the first period, but CSUN actually escaped with a 1-0 lead. Wyoming have a bit of trouble getting through the neutral zone right now. Dobricott to Abaya. Falls down. Jeremy Miller plays off of Abaya. Puck comes to Ferentz. Taps to Kinnan. Kinnan, bank pass, taken over by Bowles. Bowles trying to skate with it, met by Kinnan. Dished off by Eric Tomasello. Dobricott can't clear. Shot skips wide. Wright takes a look, closed in on by Trent Sparrow. Held in by DeWar. DeWar had a goal last night as well, ended up being the game winner. 3-on-1 for CSUN. Hefty in front for Abaya. Drops for Hefty, back to Abaya. So a 3-on-1 and CSUN can't get a shot. Puck did not hit the rafters. 1-on-2 situation for Coolwarn Dollywood. Dollywood was not in the lineup last night for Wyoming. Just a couple of switches for them. Played in by McKay, given a rough ride by Hefty, and he's injured. Hoover stabs forward to Hefty as plays whistle down. Hefty, as always, a physical presence for the Matadors. Campbell McKay. Like a big bump from Hefty. Wyatt Blue, the Matadors athletic trainer, coming out to check on Campbell McKay. He scored last night for the Cowboys. So Blake Bayer had 2. McKay, DeWar, and Dan Franks on the power play had the other goals for the Cowboys. Wyoming switched conferences this season. They were in the Mountain West Conference. And McKay looks to be all right. Skating off under his own power. That's arguably the best conference in the West region. It has all the Utah schools, as well as Montana Tech, Montana State, and Grand Canyon. They switched to the Big Mountain Hockey Conference this season. That's all the Colorado schools, arguably the second best conference in the region. So that's now a 6-team conference. Wyoming, Colorado, Colorado State, Metro State, Denver. One of the refs talking to one of the Isoplex employees down there. I think it's a positive move for Wyoming joining the Big Mountain Conference. Northern Colorado is the 6th member and arguably the best team in that conference this season, as they are still undefeated. They beat Denver last night. Looks to be a problem with the Zamboni door. Pretty much every game here on the NHL sheet, when a puck is rimmed around, takes a weird hop in that Zamboni corner. Of course, the Colorado school is much closer to Wyoming than the Utah and Montana schools. There is a rumor that Division III Air Force is going to move up to Division II as early as next season. So that would give the Big Mountain Conference 7 teams. They would be 1 away from getting an auto bid. We've talked a little bit about the auto bids so far this season. If you're in a conference with at least 8 teams that are full members of the ACHA, they're not on probation, and they are a pure team, then whoever wins your conference tournament gets an auto bid to regionals. So last season, Utah State, they were going to go to regionals anyway as the number 4 seed, but they ended up beating Wyoming in the Mountain West Championship, and that's really one of the things that got CSUN to regionals as well, because if Wyoming had won, it's basically like in March Madness, your bubble bursts. As Wyoming finished 13th, they would have qualified automatically for regionals. UCLA got the auto bid from the Pac-8, and that was it. Back underway, 15-10 to go in the first. It's been an even period so far. Marbach to Hoover. Rourke tried to get it to Goen. Goes to Loundigan. Ian Johnson's pass picked off by Rourke. Gains the red line, slides it in deep. Mallory leaves for Ian Johnson. Turned over to Rourke. In front, denied by Kunitz, then curled wide by Hoover. What a look for Matt Hoover. Rourke curls curls away from the pressure, leaves for Hoover. Hoover giving a rough ride. Rorick's there to support. Rorick shoots. It's blocked by Ian Johnson and cleared out. Dan Franks. Cross ice. McDougall's in front. It's sent there by Kunitz, but denied. Kept alive by Kinnan. Kunitz, a big body with a lot of skill. Cycles, intercepted by Marbach. Once again, McKinnon. McKinnon shoots, stopped by Calvoda. Big rebound. Hoover's there. Ferentz bothers him and holds the zone. Mason Ewan reverses for Marbach. The normal D pair of Marbach and Ewan. Marbach flip play ahead of Jacob Steinfeld, who's back in the lineup tonight, icing on CSUN. Steinfeld suffered a concussion the second game against Grand Canyon. So it's been a 5-game absence for Jacob Steinfeld, the Brea native, senior at CSUN. Good to have him back in the lineup. Matadors have 12 forwards, 60, and 3 goalies dressed. Vincent Seppi, who played very well last night, was the Matadors' #1 star, is the backup, and Caleb Mead is also dressed. Draw 1 to Ferentz. Shovels past Tyler Johnson. Marbach weak clear. Blake Bear shot blocked by Rorick. Rorick can't clear. Blake Bear in deep for Johnson. Back to Bear. In front off of Calvoda and cleared out. Wyoming a surge. Kinnan just holds the zone. And Marbach curls to Lessick, given a rough ride by Ryan Bear. They are related, the Bears. Both from Fort Collins, Colorado. Steinfeld plays in deep. CSUN rolls a change. Lessick. Back in, CSUN's onside. Takes a weird hop in the Zamboni corner. There we see it. Matadors trying to take advantage. Blasco banks to Lauren. Back to Blasco. On around 50-50 puck. Barrengut seals off Tyler Johnson. Blasco back for Lessick. And it's forced out. Outside bid, easy save Calvoda, but a big rebound and they score! Tyler Johnson. Calvoda, a huge rebound, and Tyler Johnson, the captain, makes no mistake. It's his 2nd goal of the season. Johnson's from Gillette, Wyoming, and the Cowboys up.
Let's go, CSUN!
Wyoming, when scoring first this year, 2-2. CSUN scored first last night. Ryan Bergerman picks up the assist. It's his 2nd point of the season, a Chestermere, Alberta native. A lot of Canadians for Wyoming, as their head coach, Scott Weissman, was telling me. They have a deal with the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, where players, or just students in general, I should say, can go to SAIT for 2 years, then transfer to the University of Wyoming to get their petrol engineering degree. Weissman himself is a professor in the engineering department at the University of Wyoming, but actually went to school out here at UCLA. So homecoming of sorts for Weissman, the coach for Wyoming, in his 2nd tour of duty with the Cowboys. CSUN's got to find a way to get more offense on Sam Mallory. Just a couple of saves so far. Matadors been giving up the first goal this year, 1-2. They haven't really had too much success either way, as they're 4-4 now when they've scored first. Obviously, need that record to be a lot better. Hefty steals. Hefty stood up by Bergerman just enough. Hefty drops it right to McDougall. Cowboys the other way. Ewan almost upended Kunitz. Got his head up just in time. Abaya around. Cycles to no one in particular. And it's held in by Abaya. Drops to Hefty, forced out by Franks. Marbach steps up, smart play, puts it on Mallory. Very easy save. And he'll just keep it held. 10:37 remaining in the first, 1-0 Wyoming. Cowboys have a storied history in the ACHA. This is their third season in Division II after moving up from Division III. They've made the D3 Nationals 5 times in their history. 5 out of 6 years, 01, 02, 03, 04, and 06. Wyoming won the national championship in 01, the second year ever in Division III. And they made the championship game in 02, but lost to Robert Morris of Pennsylvania. Shot goes wide. The last time Wyoming made nationals in 06 was in Fort Myers, Florida. That was the location when the Matadors made nationals for the first time in 2010. Wyoming's actually tied for 11th all-time in games played at the Division III Nationals, along with Penn State Berks. Wyoming trying to make noise in D2 now. Calvoda covers up. 9:57 to go in the first. Wyoming is finished ranked in their first 2 seasons in D2. 2 years ago, they finished 18th, which was the last possible spot you could be ranked that year. Last year, as I mentioned earlier, finished 1 spot out of regionals at 13th. BYU technically was the first team left out as they finished 12th. Remember, UCLA got the auto bid from the Pac-8 and they were nowhere near ranked last season. Hans Wormsdobler turns it up at Lowndegan. Wyoming the better the play once again here in the first. They've hit pay dirt as well tonight. Lauren turns it over to Tyler Johnson. Too many turnovers for the Matadors last night, and so far lots of turnovers tonight as well. Puck stays in the zone. Blake Bear in front. Calvoda keeps it out. McKay looked like he cross-checked Lauren, but gets away with it. That was a dangerous cross-check, too, up in the shoulder area of Lauren. Lauren trying to curl away from McKay. Works out to Wormsdobler. CSUN clears. Matadors roll a change, top lines over the boards. Still very little offense here in the first period. Dug free by Jacob Link, stick checked by Ryans. Kinnon's shot blocked by Barengut. And he just played it too far ahead of himself, but gets it back. Barengut to Ryans. Deeks! And he scores! The 2 captains have struck. It's Alex Ryan's turn, his 2nd goal of the weekend. 4th of the season. Game tied at 8:26. What a job by the Matadors, scoring on the broken play, and what patience by the captain. Ryan's now points in 7 of his last 8 games, so the captain's starting to heat up offensively. His 10th point overall this season. Ryan's reached the 180 points plateau in his career last night with his goal and an assist, and this is 125th game. Garrett Hefty can't get around the defense. Here comes Kunitz in front. Franks wide. Barengut and Blasco pick up the assists on the goal. Big hits. DeWar on Bulls, it's sent out. And it won't go far enough for icing. So the top line has been in on all 3 goals this weekend for the Matadors. Ryans with 2 goals, Barengut with 1, Blasco 3 assists. Abaya drops for Hoover, shot stopped by Mallory, rebound Abaya, robbed by Mallory. CSUN finally an offensive surge after the goal. Sam Mallory with 2 nice saves there. 7:26 remaining in the opening period. Ewan can't hold the zone, tough play. Rourke chips it around Ian Johnson, he holds him, that's a penalty. CSUN to the power play at 7:13. job by Rourke to keep the feet moving to draw the holds. Ian Johnson does not like the call, but he sits. The Matadors power play, we harped on it a lot last night. It's now below 10% overall in the season at 9.8. They're just 1 for 22 in their last 5 games. 14.3% here at home, so a bit better, but CSUN has got to get the power play going tonight. Blasco, oh, what a chance, just couldn't handle the puck. Anytime you have a power play that's under 10%, it's very poor. Barron got to Blasco, couldn't shoot. Barron guts, the forward at the point. Hoover make it to Rourke, chips it wide. Blasco out front. Bowles hacks and he scores! Well, that's a sight for sore eyes. A power play goal. And CSUN has the lead at 6:46. That's Bowles' 3rd goal this season. 2 of his 3 goals have come on the power play. And maybe that's what will finally jumpstart the Matadors' power play. Nice job by Bowles, the defenseman playing up. We saw that last night. The Matadors switched up their power play look. Pays off there. Maxton pressures, it's sent out to Lauren. Blasco and Barron got pick up the assists. So already Blasco and Barron got with 2 assists tonight. It's Barron Gut's first multi-assist game of the season. Blasco his second 2-assist game after getting 2 assists last night. So Blasco 4 points on the weekend. And remember, he scored twice against Wyoming in Laramie. He likes to play the Cowboys for whatever reason. Lauren. Headmans to Abaya, did deflect, no icing. Ian Johnson, pressured by Abaya, skates away. Dishes it to himself. Johnson trying to make up for his holding penalty. Back checked well by Abaya. Wyoming still with it. Shot from the outside, scores. Well, Wyoming gets it right back. That was Jacob Link with the outside bid. Things all square once again at 5:22. That's again a shot that Calvoda has got to save. That's Link's first point of the season from Wasilla, Alaska. Link was on Wyoming's team last year. And that absolutely takes the air out of the building for the moment. That's what those softies can do. Ian Johnson and Loundigan pick up the assist, so Johnson does make up for taking the penalty, gets the primary assist. It's Johnson's 4th assist of the season. All square at 2. Each team has had a lead, and we've been tied twice in a topsy-turvy first period. 4:40 to go in it. It's played on goal, no icing. Johnson got a bit lucky there. Taken over by Dollywool. He's offside, now realizes it. Abaya chips off the linesman. DeWar, stretch pass. It's worked in by Sparrow, given a rough ride by Marbach. Marbach, Ewan's there to support. Abaya swing and a miss. Rourke goes wide on DeWar. CSUN's changing up ice. Rourke, pressured by Dollywool. Chipped out by the Cowboys, possible 2-on-1. McKay, shoot stop by Calvo to rebound. Dollywool, it's blocked, and it's in the net, but wow, there are a couple of Cowboys in the crease. This goal is going to stand, though, and Wyoming's got the lead back. Again, the air is let out of the building. Already 2 ties and 2 lead changes here in the first period. And we're going to get a goaltending change. Making his collegiate debut is Caleb Mead. There you see him, he's a freshman from Arletta. And we'll see how Mead does. Mead grew up playing for the California Heat program at the Valley Ice Center, former home of the Matadors. Barron got loose as an edge. Blasco in front for Ryans, denied. Dobricott can't clear. McDougal checked by Dobricott. Blasco flat-footed, able to get it to Ryans. Ryans sends wide. Matadors with 3 goalies tonight. And Steve Gale not afraid to go to the freshman. Matadors have to have this game. They can really not afford a loss to Wyoming. It would very much damage their ranking coming up. Ferentz's shot over top. Mead scrambles back. Fed to Worms Dobler, kept alive. Lauren denies. Ferentz gets around Lauren, but Lessick is there. Puck comes out. Kinnan slaps in, Wyoming touches up. Lauren to Steinfeld. Dangerous pass, but works out to Lessick. Lessick shoots, gloved off by Mallory. 2:07 remaining in the first. Stay tuned during the first intermission. We'll recap the stats and scoring plays, and we'll update you on what's going on in the WCHE. There was a game last night between LMU and Cal State Fullerton. Second and final game between those two teams for WCHC standings. Hefty wins the draw to Abaya. Shots blocked. Hefty levels down that Cowboy. Sends back to Ewan. Blocked. Blake Bayer got in the lane. Behind the play. Cowboys all over. Hefty gives a cross check to the head. And finally they call it. Wow.
What the fuck are you looking at?
That should be a 5-minute major to Ryan Bayer. Cross-check right to the head of Garrett Hefty. That's intent to injure. It's got to be a major. We'll see with 1:48 to go in the period. Ryan Bayer was all over Hefty, who was in a prone position. It's got the crowd back in it. Right to the neck. We have a great picture of it. And Hefty's going to the box as well. The ref didn't have his arm in the air until well after the cross check to the neck. And then he puts Hefty in the box. So 2 minutes up on the board for Hefty and just a 2-minute minor to Ryan Bayer. That's inexcusable. So things are going to be evened out seemingly. Ryan's still getting a handle on things.
You can see him like throwing down.
Hefty was in a complete prone position. Unbelievable. So 4-on-4 hockey for the first time in this series. We did not have 4-on-4 last night. Time of the penalties 1:48. Hefty gets 2 for holding as Mallory covers up. We'll see who has the better of the play 4-on-4. Four-on-4 carries over to the second period, unless, of course, there's another penalty. 1:34 on the game clock, 1:46 in the minors. Lauren's shot blocked, and maybe CSUN can get some oomph from this. Bergerman picks up the assist on Wyoming's third goal. Didn't pick up the goal score, but we'll get it at the intermission. Ryans leaves for Bowles. Bowles in front denied. 1 minute to go in the first. Blasco rings it around. It's a war angled off by Bowles. Bergerman around, has 2 assists here in the first period. Ryan